coilovers. I love them, you love them, we love them, he, she love them, the study of loving them. If you're into cars, chances are you've heard of coilovers or you've at least put your little eyeballs on them. But there is a little more that goes into them than just slamming your car on its nuts. I'm Dakota, and today we're going to get into everything you're doing wrong with coilovers. And don't forget, if you need any coilovers, we will have them conveniently linked in the description below over to fitmentindustries.com, along with wheels, tires, and now performance parts. So if you're into that type of thing, you're looking for an intake, an exhaust, a tune, or something like that, we now carry that, which is super awesome. There's a ton of them out there. How do you go about deciding which ones to get? As car enthusiasts who are broke, I think it's instinct to go find the cheapest option that will give the desired aesthetic look. Now, that's not really correct. Believe it or not, suspension is a very important part of your car, and you can ruin everything by just getting the cheapest set of coilovers that are on the internet. Either it ain't gonna fit right, and install will be hell on earth, or they're going to blow in 200 miles and you're gonna be driving around with a broken back. Now, what coilover you're going to get is dependent on each person and what you're planning on doing with the car. If you're simply just looking for a slight drop to clean up the fitment and maybe have a little bit of adjustability to, feel the road a bit better, you don't need to go out and buy the $5,000 set of coilovers with the external reservoir. Some people need this, not everyone needs this. You probably don't need this if you're just the daily this is for like race car. You won't need the external reservoir and four-way adjustability and all that crazy stuff. It's okay to save a bit of money and run some BCBR series or the Tane Flex Z's, or hell, even some Silver's Neomax. I literally just got a set of those for my daily driver, a Mark IV Jetta VR6 with 24 valve. It's a VW, so it has some issues, but I'm trying to treat her right, all right? Do a little bit of research and figure out what you need before committing to your next paycheck going to suspension. Biggest piece of advice is don't cheap out to the point where you ruin the driving experience of your car, but don't spend enough to the point where you're not using 90% of what the coilover is meant to do. Big brands like BC, Fortunato, and Silvers have all different lineups, and we've made tons of videos covering breakdowns of those, so make sure to go check those out if you're interested in diving into each one separately. Next up is look what the coilovers have to offer. If you know what you want, take a peek at any customization that's offered with them. I did the Swift spring upgrade to my Silvers, and with that I had the option to change the spring rates. A lot of people slamming their car think that they need to just get the absolute stiffest spring rate that a company offers, and that's not the case at all. Don't do that. I definitely would not recommend that. Again, if this is your daily driver or weekend fun car, the standard spring rate should do just fine. If you're doing a bit of spirited driving or track days on the weekend, a bump up on your spring rate can help have a bit of a stiffer ride to help in cornering and whatnot, things like that. Having fender to lip static fitment for your show car, yes, you will want to bump those spring rates up, but you don't need 80K or 100K rated springs. It'll depend on each car and the weight of it, but those numbers are pretty ludicrous. Now, for more aesthetic fun options, some brands like ST even offer changing the color of the coil springs and the lock collars. Yeah, no one's gonna see it, but it's a little fun thing that lets you personalize your car even more, which is, that's what we all wanna do, right? That's what we love to do. Also, some coilovers are completely rebuildable, meaning if something goes wrong over time, you can send them in, they'll fix them right up, and then send them back out. Not only that, but if down the road you want to upgrade, you can send them in to be upgraded as well, like from 500s to 510s from Fortunato. BC and Fortunato both offer this, and I think it's a huge thing, and I don't think people take advantage of it enough. Yes, it costs some money, but not the price of buying brand new coilovers. Fortunato actually offers what's called the overhaul service, which consists of
disassembly and inspection of coilovers, rebuild coilovers to original specifications, replacement of seized external components, replacement of worn jetting assembly components, replacement of worn O-rings and shims, refill with AMSOIL synthetic shock oil, shock dyno to verify performance, 1-year warranty from the date of service.
Again, I don't think a lot of people realize this type of stuff or take advantage of it at all. Next up is the install. Generally, install for coilovers, it isn't too bad unless you have to deal with
rust.
But it is different for each make and model, so maybe while you're waiting for shipping, watch a few videos on install to get yourself familiar with what you'll be dealing with for tools and whatnot, all that good stuff. For example, all my Volkswagens use a specific spreader tool to get the strut out. It's not an expensive tool, but it makes your life a million times easier if you have it. So little things like that. You'll find little hiccups and stuff if you get the good install video. Some breeze through it and act like it's a piece of cake. It's gonna take you a little bit of time. Another thing is make sure to replace bolts that need to be replaced, like stretch bolts, and make sure to torque down your stuff. Additionally, coilovers aren't meant to just be installed and ran. Make sure that your preset on your coilover is set by adjusting this bottom locking ring here and making sure that your spring in here isn't too loose. A lot of people look past that and just run it how it came out of the box. It's not the way to go. Next up, what you're gonna wanna do is measure from collar to collar. See this distance right here? And you wanna get that the same across all 4 corners so you're not just riding all cattywampus. Also get a damn alignment after. If you really dumped it, I suggest calling around and finding a local shop with an in-ground alignment rack so it's just nice and easy. Sure would be a shame to spend all that money on coilovers and then tear up your tires immediately after because it's not aligned. Not speaking from experience, I've never done that. Overall, coilovers shouldn't be too intimidating as long as you do your research first, which if you made it this far, I can already tell you're a real one and you're gonna be just fine. Also, make sure to comment your dream car down below to prove that you've made it this far in the video so I can see it. I'm curious what your dream car is. I'm just kind of nosy. I appreciate you guys a ton, and I hope this video helps with picking up some coilovers from fitmentindustries.com. And then please subscribe, because I know about 60% of you watching right now aren't subscribed, and that hurts my feelings. All right, we'll talk to you later. Good luck dumping your car. Have fun.